Well, let's go ahead and get started. I think we may still have a few more people that join us. We also often have people register and also get the emails with the recordings and things too. But welcome everybody to Tableau Live. This is our episode 2 of 2025, our February 19th edition. And I'm Heather Datillo. I will be your host today, and my co-host and colleague, our resident GGTK, which stands for Good Guy to Know, Chris Cox, will be joining us today, and we will be answering any of the questions you have live. If you have not
Heather, you're kind of
submitted,
breaking up.
am I? I wonder why. If you have not submitted a question in advance, yep, I see my internet connection unstable now. Please do so in the chat. So welcome. The way this works is we cover submitted questions and topics first. We then cover some other items that we have planned for you that we thought might be interesting for you, but we also do an open Q&A as well. So Chris, I'm going to go ahead and start with the question that was submitted today was, how do you make a mobile dashboard views? So making the dashboard views mobile friendly. So I know we have a couple articles I'll put into the chat for folks, but I know, Chris, you have a great example of a demo dashboard that is not customer data. This is a demo dashboard that we've built that can talk through some of these pieces. So I'll stop sharing my screen. Let
Sure.
you go ahead and share yours.
All right. So this is a dashboard we've used before to kind of show some things. So a couple of tricks when you're making the mobile dashboard is, one, if you don't know how to start it off, you hit this like device preview button here. This will let you select. Come on, let you select what you want to add to it. So if I wanted to add a new thing, I wanted to add another, like say tablet or something else, I could do that. I could add that layout. I can pick different sizes or whatever I want. And you could even do it where it's flipped on its side. See the black line in the background? So that would be how it would be laid out. Typically, the way we build these dashboards, you don't really even need to do the tablet layout. We normally build ours in this whole like a PowerPoint size, which you could easily go down to this desktop version, which that normally fits pretty actually well. So we normally just start out there. So so you're doing the mobile layout, you do add in this piece, and then you'll get this little phone over here. I think by default, Tableau gives you this phone section is automatically in there. A couple of keys here is, one, when you click on it, Tableau is going to try to kind of make it for you automatically, and it's typically never laid out how you want it. It's going to be different. So what I typically do is I just choose the generic phone layout. I find that's the best. So unless for example, your users are certain sizes, I would just start with the generic. Go ahead and give yourself plenty of room on the height. That makes the most sense to me, just because if you can scroll more, that's fine. If there's nothing down there. And then typically what I do is I definitely do most things on like floating. I find that trying to do it where it is where it's all set, where you can have it be tiled, it's much harder to manage, especially on the mobile version. So typically what I'll do is I'll let Tableau do its thing, and I'll just kind of clear off the entire dashboard and kind of start over. One thing you'll notice is that if you only have access to things that you have in your kind of main dashboard. So if I needed a different view, or I wanted something different in there, like so for example, these two pieces here were actually not part of my main dashboard. So I go back here, you don't see those. You'll see them done differently. They're done down here just in these numbers. Let me put this back to the regular size. Point. There we go. So I wanted them to be different on the mobile versus here. So what you do is, let me get off of this device preview thing. There we go. So what you do is you have to build that view, and then you have to hide it somewhere on your mainline dashboard. Now, back in the day before they had hidden containers, I would normally take a view and put it like a 0 by 0, like 1 pixel, put it up in the corner, then send it to the back. So that was kind of hidden. Now with having containers, I can just stick all my stuff to a container and hide it. So those are those two views that were on this on the mobile that are mimicked of these numbers down here, but they don't actually show up here on this dashboard. And so another little trick I like to do is I put my show hide button outside of the area that's actually publishable. So when I publish, that won't be shown. So if you notice, the location of that is actually 1605, and my width of the dashboard is a 1600. So I always put that over there. So this is a little section you can leverage for your own use on actually desktop. So let me actually pause actually there and see if anybody has any questions about that before I go to kind of the next step. Any questions at all? All right. Well, I'll keep on moving then. All right. So let's say, for example, let's go back to the mobile view. I know that lead source is not something that I have on here, so I don't have lead source as part of this dashboard. So maybe I want to add it. So I want to put it in right in here. So I'll just move this down. I'll give me some space for it, and then I can I can create a new view. Actually, I'm gonna go back to here and grab one that we're already using. So let's just say that this lead source is one that I want to put on there, but I want it to look a little bit different. Let's say I want to duplicate this lead source, and I'll rename it mobile lead source. All right, let's say for this one, I want it to be a pie chart. So I want to get rid of some things here. So I'll move my account distinct down to here, and that gives me all my stuff. So there's my little pie charts. Okay, so if I go back to my mobile view and I go back to here, what you'll see is I don't have that field here at all. So the one this view doesn't exist inside of this list. The reason why is because I didn't use it yet on my main dashboard. So I've got to add that in. So I would typically add it to this container that I've got here, and maybe I'll do a little housekeeping and make this look like something. I'll just give me a black background on this thing so we can see it. Maybe throw in a thick white border, just something. Oops, there we go. Okay, so if I wanted to add this other view to my dashboard, so I can do that, and let's say this is the one I just created, my mobile lead source. So now if I so I'm actually floating right now. So that would drop my dashboard. If I hold down Shift, then that's going to switch to tiled. So if you go to tiled inside of your so if you're dropping something inside of a container, you have to do tiled. Okay, so now this actually exists on my dashboard. I want to go ahead and hide it. I don't want it to show up, right? But now when I go back to my mobile view, I will have that one available. Oops, too much. Something's clicking. There we go. All right. Go back to mobile. My phone, the computer is not running the speed of anything. Come on. There we go.
So Chris, I know Omo was the person that submitted this question, and I see Omo, you're on the call. Can you tell us the use case for this? Do you have external users that need it on mobile? Are they your internal team? What's the use case for this as well? Is this something that you have to embed into a website?
Oh yeah, so it's just the dashboards that we have on our server. Uh, I mean, we do have some people that do look access hmm, those dashboards on their phone, but so this will be helpful so that it changes based on who what kind of device, but also the uh but also obviously sometimes it's just better when you can use it on a big screen. So when sometimes I can't really see it I can't see everything clearly on my
Yeah,
laptop screen, so I have to put it on a bigger screen. But it's just really those type of cases where there is a lot of data on some of those pages, and we the best way we can have the dashboards adapt to the user's screen, whether it's just a phone or just a laptop screen, or if they have a big screen, but just that level of adaptability. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
makes great sense.
Yeah, what I would say another big trick or a tip is, if you're on desktop, then you have the room to show like cross tabs and a lot of data. But if you're on mobile, you don't really have that ability. So really, if you just think about kind of like summing everything up and just using like KPIs,
Mm.
that's actually normally actually best. So if you use just give them quick numbers and knowing that they can always go like somewhere else to get more.
Mm.
Another thing on mobile, you can use instead of using filters, you can use the whole tooltip. So you can have the tooltip tell you more information. So if you want
Yeah.
that's another good option. So it's not so actually crowded.
And Chris, do you ever, is there a way that we could put the link to the full size dashboard and things? Do you have other tips
Well,
and tricks that
that's
you
the
recommend?
that's kind of the same. So the deal is that you don't have a separate link. So it's
Mhm.
all actually part of the same dashboard. So it's not two links. It's only actually one. So if you go to it on mobile, you're going to see this device layout. If you go to it on a normal computer, you're going to see this one.
Yeah,
So
because
it's
when
not a
when
separate link.
this feature first came out, we actually would build a dashboard completely, one for desktop and those views. This, if you put it in PowerPoint or the generic desktop, so where Chris's mouse is, where it says size, that drop down, it still will work great for iPads and things as well in this PowerPoint size. If you're embedding it into a website, we recommend generic desktop, and it will resize well. And then we would create a completely separate mobile view that wherever they were at, they would click on mobile to be able to see that. But it's gotten better over time. One of the key things, Chris, too, when you're doing the phone view and things with it, are there any tips and tricks that you recommend? I know if we don't want it to, if we're not specifically creating a mobile dashboard, one of the things we recommend is removing that phone view, correct,
Yeah,
Chris, for the device
yeah, for
preview.
sure.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
Tableau will always try to build a phone view for you. Like if I just open up anything, I'll just do a new one. I'll just do a
You
new
could
like
open up that color
dashboard.
swap one even. Yeah. Oh,
Um,
yeah. New dashboard. That's a
I've
good
got it.
idea. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Got that turned off.
yeah,
Yeah.
mine turned off. Yeah, so you wouldn't see anything. But yeah, so Tableau tries to help you out here, but it's more. I don't know. It's more actually work for me. I feel like. I wish you could have a default that would be the way you wanted it. I mean, you can set one up and have it default, but I always forget to do that step. I'll open up a new one for me. It'll
So,
open.
just tips for people who don't want the mobile view, make sure that you take that step to turn off the phone view that's showing up by default, because if people open that, it will look really wonky if you haven't designed for mobile as well. So, that's one of the key tips too.
Yeah, I'll show you. So I'll just do one really quick. I'll just do a quick dashboard. So my superstore, and let's just do uh sum of sales by oh my goodness. It's always something. Come on. My superstore data set. This is why it's live because we never know what's going to happen.
And Chris, if you are creating one that automatically will go to the mobile view, do you have any pointers on letting people know that there's a fuller view on desktop? Like, can you put that?
I mean, like I said, there's no difference. I mean, so if you're going to it on a phone, then and you've got that turned on, then you're going to see that version, right?
Right. But like sometimes we choose to not to have every worksheet show up on the mobile view when it's there too.
It's looking for a hyper file. That's my problem. I don't know how to get this. Remove the extract. We'll do it that way. I think this was my save data source. I probably should have used another one.
You could use the out of the box one, Chris. If you go to the Sparkle, we might want to try that if that doesn't work for you.
Yeah, I think I did like an upgrade and it didn't transfer it over to the new version that I'm using. I'll just use this one. This will work. So yeah, so hold on. Never as fast as you want it to be. Okay. Close. All right, so let's just throw some things very quick. So sales by let me extract this just so it'll be faster. Yes, in location. Okay. So let's just do sales by, come on. Sales by order date, maybe. And then we'll do that by month and year. Oops, that's just month. Sorry. There we go. And then I'm gonna do this super fast. So we'll just do profit and sales by customer name. And we'll color on profit. Maybe. All right, do that in there. And we'll do sales profit by subcategory. And let's do one more quick one.
Let's do a map. We could throw one of those in.
Done. Location. So state. Bills is my size. And I'll even go fancy on, I'll give you another one that has profit on the color. Go. All right. So we got our map. Yeah. This one a little bigger. Okay, I spent too much time on this. Okay, it's fine. I gotta put a 4. I can't even see the lines. Okay, so what Tableau does is just put a little line around that. Okay, so when I'm building this dashboard, so by default they put in that phone view. So if I drag in all my views here, I'm just going out of the line. I'm doing them. I know I always do that. I always hit down shift, but I'm just dragging them in as actually floating, so you can have it do it automatic. You can do that. So now if I click phone view, it's going to try to align things for me. So maybe you like how that looks, maybe you don't. But here's the thing: is that now that I go to this, get on my phone view. Like to turn off the auto generating. Yes, I'll get rid of that. So I always want to get rid of that. And then I like typically just kind of wipe out everything that's on here and kind of start over, just because it's going to put it in as actually tiled. So then I can't really control it as much as I want to. So I would normally get rid of all this and bring it actually the back end is actually floating. Because now if I want to put in a header or something, let's say I want to add in some text on the top, then that's going to scoot everything down. I'm going to put that in, like if I put it in as tiled. So title whatever I want. Then now that's going to come in as a weird size, and I've got to drag everything around and make it be how I want. I got to end up touching all the stuff. Versus, I'd much rather just have it be floating and know I can actually assign like things wherever I actually want. And it's just here. I would also set this to be bigger, like just go ahead and give it a size. But as you see, these things move based on that. So it's good to do this first. Just give yourself enough like room to make sure you have plenty of room to build. Because it's fine if it's longer, it doesn't really matter. But then I would just bring these back in and make them all floating. So now I have them all. So now I can design better. So my title, I'll make that floating. You can always hold down Shift anytime. So now I can put that exactly where I want. I want that to be. I know my width is of my dashboard is. Oh, it's up in the thing. What was it? 375. What's it say? Device preview. There it is. So yeah, for 375 is my width. So now I know exactly. So now laying these things out, it's simple. This is 0 by 0 by 375 by, let's call it 30, right? So now I have my title set up. It's in a perfect spot. I want to make it bold. I want to make it bigger. So let's go like 16 centered. So now that's done. So now I know my next spot is now actually 30. So if I bring in my next view, let's say I want to bring in sheet 2. I bring that in as floating here. I go, so I know I want it to be at 0, start on the edge. I want it to go at 30, which is right under the title. I want it to be 375 by, we can just pick the height. So whatever height we actually want. But now this makes it super simple to lay things out, right? So now I picked, so 324. So maybe I'll make that 300, just so I can easily know my math. So now my next one I want to bring in would start at, let's say I want to bring this one in. Bring it in as floating. I know I've got 300 plus 30. So my X starts at 330, or sorry, that's 0. X is 0, then this is 330, and this is 375, and we'll make them the same. So 300. So now these two graphs are the same size, and it's all nice and neat. And that makes it super simple whenever you're building something.
And Chris, one of the tricks I know you do, you'll notice that there is a line kind of going through part of one of the charts, just so people know to keep scrolling with it. So I know that's been a trick you taught me over the years to do as well.
Sure.
So
yeah. So for example, if we would have made these smaller, say if I'd have made this 200 and then this one 200 as well, and it looked like it was, so I need to make it, instead of 130, I'll make it 230. So like, let's just say that I had nothing else down here, but I had something below it. Let's say I had another chart here. You definitely want to be able to see, I wouldn't want to do this because your eye doesn't know there's something actually below it. You want to make sure you have half of a graph. So I may make these a little bit different size. Let's go back to let's go like to 275. And then this one would be, made my math hard on myself. So this would be, instead of 330, it would be 305 and 275, right? So now I see kind of that half of a graph. So that way, when I'm come in here, I actually know for sure that I should actually scroll. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Same thing with here.
Yep, makes great sense to me, Chris. And then, some of the things to be cautious of with mobile designs, a lot of the times, like I said, we don't create that mobile option for folks. So, one of the things we always talk about when you're designing a dashboard is to really know your audience. And so, find out if people need that on mobile. Hospitals and things often need them on iPads, and all manufacturing plants we see needing mobile versions often when they're walking through the plant and they need to be looking at things. But be cautious of your dashboard actions, that when you're designing it too, when they click on the dashboard action, where that's going to take them in the dashboard, dashboard. We also do a trick, Chris, I know in your initial dashboard that you were showing from the demo dashboard that we had. We often use a trick where we will also don't want people to interact too much. So we'll put a blank container over top of them so they can't click on those things. And so that is also, something to keep in mind of how to cover things that you don't want people clicking on a phone that it's tricky to interact with and things. So if it's just something that you want to view, but you don't want them actually using a dashboard action to filter that data in any way, pivot the data, you can cover that with a blank box. So
like that would let them filter, right? So I clicked on Robin and I could filter it. So instead of having to mess with my actions, that's what she's saying. You don't have to change the actions for this because this one has an action on your main dashboard. Just go and grab a blank and bring it in as floating, and then just put it over top of it. So this way they can't click the actual view, but they can see actually through it.
Yeah.
So that just stopped them clicking that.
So you'll note also in the comments, I've put in 2 Tableau knowledge-based articles about designing mobile dashboards too. So I know we took a good bit of time to cover that today. Any other questions about developing mobile dashboards? So Chris, when we first started creating that when you went to Superstore, we were talking about if you don't want this to have a mobile layout, that you could turn that off as well. So that might be something if you want to duplicate that dashboard or create a different, just show people how to remove that. It's not hard to do as well. So, but just keep in mind, not every dashboard is meant to go mobile. And if you do that, if you don't get rid of that device preview where it says default with the mobile view, it will come in and it might look really crazy. And we use a lot of background images for our templates and things when we're creating dashboards. So if we do that, it does not look good at all. It'll bring in just the background image and then other worksheets as well that are there too. So,
yep.
Yeah. All right, I'm checking to see if we have any more live questions coming in. We don't at this point, Chris. So I'll let you finish what you're doing there, and we'll share some fun news with folks too. So
yeah, you can do that.
Okay, I will share my screen again. There we go. Sorry, I did not have that up already. So these 2 articles I've put in the chat for everybody as well. We do have some cool things that are coming out that we are in test mode right now. These are called the Tableau Creator Edition, the Big Survival Kit. And so this is something that we're looking for people to demo the products. So if you're still interested in, or if you're interested in becoming someone to demo these are just tools that we're creating, different survival kits. Our first one is for Tableau creators that we have found have been super helpful for us over time that we've created internally for our team that we're bringing out to everybody externally. So Chris, I don't know if you want to take a few minutes and walk through Taco and the Tableau bucket calculator, Tableau templates, and VizScribe. If you want to show those quickly, we could do that.
All right, I can do that. So let me share my screen. Get there.
And if you're interested in demoing these with us, we're going to be
demo like beta. You mean?
I mean, beta testing. Sorry, beta testers is what we're looking for. Thank you, sir. Just give us your name in here, or you can email us. You can let us know in the chat, but you can also email us at info@boulderinsight.com and let us know.
I'm trying to share. It does not let me do it. The computer is just something about Zoom, I think. We have clicked everything I'm clicking here. There we go. Now I finally got a share button. Come on. It's blue. I think I did it. Nope. Now let me share. Yeah, clicked it once. There we go. Okay. All right. So the first tool is really to build these bucket calcs. This is something we have to do quite often. So like actually I'll use it in the other one. I'll use it in this guy. So so a lot of times you want, whoops, be the last one. Come on. So a lot of times you want to like bucket different accounts by things like say like sales. Man, can you see my screen?
It's
Am I-
trying. There you go. Now we see it. We're seeing the
Yeah. Okay.
national CFRP.
Okay. All right. I'll start with this one. So let's say you want to bucket your sales. So you'd create like calculation that would say, I want to do a case of sales, and I want to say, okay, when sale, or actually I guess it would be when it's less than like 100, then I want it to be 0 to 100, and I have to kind of build these things out. So what we have now, we can do this instead of having to build that calculation. We go into it's slow. Go into this bucket generator, and I just put in my sales. I say I want on my minimum value to be 0, a maximum value to be, let's say, 1,000, and then I want my spread to be like 100. Okay, so I generate that formula. I think I said case, but this one does it in an if statement, but it'll still work. So now I go back to my dashboard, and I just select all that, let me, and paste. So now I have that bucket calculator written. So if I said, okay, I want to use that in my screen, and I want to count the number of customers that are in each one of those. So that would be a typical thing we'd want to do. How much is a total customer sales, and how many customers fall in each bucket? So that'd be a very quick way to build that calc. I see I've got 340 that are over 1,000. Now I can pull that into my dashboard and go and dive down on those customers. So pretty kind of simple way to do it. The other thing that's kind of cool about it is if I realized, oh, I want to format this differently. I want to have a prefix of actually dollar signs. So, and even if I wanted to, come on, dollar, and let's say I want to, I have a suffix if I want. I could even actually a suffix that makes sense. Suffix want to roll it up to thousands. I could do that. So let's say I'll change it to my maximum value is 10,000 and my spread is actually 1,000. So let's say, so I'll generate that one and copy that formula and go back over to here. I'll just edit the same one, but that'll make it so it's nice and neat for me. Edit. I got to reboot before we do these things. There we go. So same deal. Paste. There you go. Should be a little bit different, but now it's all actually formatted nice and neat for me. So that's like your one. The other one I was going to show you is, let's say I wanted to color on like the sub category. So Tableau by default gives you some things. Or heck, let's color on bucket actually. Let's do that. Might look better. Let's color on bucket. So each bucket has its own color. Well, as you actually know, Tableau gives you the ability to add in your own preferences file, so you can add your own colors. So Tableau gives you everything down here to lightning watermelon, and so these are all the ones that I have built myself, and you kind of put in here. If we look at how you would do that, let's get a text file open here, and file new. Actually, I don't even need that anymore. So I'll just open up preferences. So on all your computers inside of your you're like a Tableau repository, you're gonna have a preferences file. By kind of default, it's gonna be blank. but we make it so you can add things into it easily. So my Tableau repository, and then you're going to have preferences. I got several of them here that I've used over time. So so it's going to look like this, which is easy to deal with. So this is my first palette that I had. Here's all the hex codes and everything else. So you can easily add this in, but it's kind of a pain because you have to go and look up the hex codes. You got to figure out what those are. If you can mess up, some formatting and make this file not even work. So what we've done is we made it easy to actually manage that and also make it actually visible, the visual. So we call it the TACO, the Tableau Advanced Color Organizer. This is where I just I click my button until I go grab that same preferences file. So same location, my Tableau repository and preferences. And now we're going to load all those in the screen for you. So there was the first color palette that I had. I've got another one here. We can load them and see. What you'll notice also is that we're also checking for the colorblind options. So like this one is pretty good on the top. The top two rows are good, but this bottom row does not work well. So I probably want to get rid of some of that stuff. So if I start, peeling down, let's get rid of a few of these and let's just see what happens. So now we're looking better. So it's just this one. So now I have now fixed that one for at least these actually three. So if I wanted to update that in my file, I just hit the update selected and it's going to change this one. Update selected. Now it's going to wipe out the ones that I did. And so then I could just download this as a new file. So that's going to do all the changes to your kind of code in the background. So I would just save it down in the same spot. But really a cool way to keep your colors nice and neat and organized. We also load a bunch of pre-defined palettes for you that you can leverage. Like, so this cityscape, for instance, if you wanted that one, if you want to do some work on it, make it different. If you want to start from this one and then you want to add in like a new color, let's say you want to add in a nice green or something. So you click the little thing here, you click your color, somewhere where you want. You can also type in the RGB or whatever you want to. And so then that will add in that green. And let's say you want it to be in this location, you can drag it to wherever you want. And let's say you wanted to get a color that's in kind of between these two. Hit the plus in the middle, and that's going to go and figure out the right hex code to give you. So that way you can build your own palettes, but based off of some like color you're going to start with. So, and then I can save this as a brand new palette if I want to, my palette. And then go from there. The other thing that's kind of cool that is pretty often is that you want to share your palette with somebody else that actually works actually with you. So I can say, hey, I want to share this one and this one, and I hit my little share button, and then now that's going to save that down to a little small preferences file that you can give to them, shared palettes, and then whenever they get that palette, they just hit the merge button here, and so then they merge it into their kind of existing palettes. So kind of a cool little way to do it. Here, I'll just merge in one of these. I'll merge in this pH scale diverging one. So now that's going to show up. Oh, we've already got that one apparently, but it's still there. It still actually did it. So I added it right, even though I had it twice. But there you go. So kind of a cool tool.
I'm curious, how many of you have to create color palettes for your organization or have to keep 508 compliance in mind? If you have to do that, give me a 1 in the chat for that too. We're just curious how many people are needing to create those items too. Give me a 2 if you don't have to worry about those pieces. This tool here, VizScribe, is one that's been really helpful for us internally. We've also been doing a lot more cloud migrations recently. And so VizScribe has come in pretty handy to be able to work with our cloud migration teams and, just really complex data sets that we're working with sometimes. So I know, Chris, you've got some good examples here to show VizScribe as well. So
I'm going to grab a workbook.
And
So,
again, all of this can be free to you all to test if you want to be a beta tester for any of these. And we'll be launching them officially probably in March, I think, is when we'll be launching these.
yeah. So basically what this does is you pull in your workbook and it's going to comb through your workbook and kind of give you all of your calculations, all your fields, tell you kind of where they're actually used. So like this revenue is used in a revenue worksheet. I guess there's probably one with a space on it, and also in sheet 6. So it tells you everything you have. We have it in light mode, dark mode, if you care for that. And then you can just download this as a whole PDF, and go from there. That way you can save it. I think by default mine's set up to go to black and white, but you can change that to color and it'll look better. And so you can save it down and you can document your workbook, all your calculations. Makes it pretty nice. I was taking forever to preview, but it's probably my computer.
And Chris, I know we had a great use case for one of our clients that had a really complex set of spreadsheets that they were using for their data source, and they wanted you to change something for one of our nonprofits that was out there. And that was a great use case for you too, where you could find that pretty easily.
Yeah, here's how this looks. Yeah, that's a good example. So one of the things, like we have let me go load up a new one. I don't want to do that. There's like a one up in the top of my screen, like the screen I'm sharing or something. One that did that. Go back. Just wanted to reload, but the one's in my way. Man, I'm having some problems. Okay, here we go. All right. I just wanted to refresh this. Yeah, I can load that one. This one was a huge workbook, and it had a ton of fields in it. Let's see here. I think it is. Who was that one, Heather?
Bell Policy, yeah, and they're a public-facing nonprofit with this dashboard, so we're not showing any data that the rest of the public won't be able to see. So
yeah. So yeah, this workbook was massive. So having all this like you documented was huge. And then she was asking me to change a parameter, change kind of the default of it, but she didn't know what it was called. And I'm like, kind of have a hard time finding that. She goes, well, I like know that it had like 50% was the default. I want to change it to 55%. So as you see, they have 74 parameters. So I just did a quick search because now it's all in your browser on 0.5. And then that's going to jump me down to the right spot, wherever it is, right here. So that was actually the one that she wanted to change. So really easy to find stuff, to be able to search and know where things are, where they're used, and that kind of stuff. So,
and then the final part that's was listed on that slide was our Tableau templates. This is a free service for you all, free product that you all can have at any point. So if you go to our Boulder Insight website and to products, you'll see Tableau templates. You can just register and get a bunch of backgrounds for you. That we have 20 backgrounds with layout containers, and the skins have 80 backgrounds that are all based on UI, UX design. So it's just a free option for you all if you're looking for ways to add some oomph, and wow factor to your dashboards that puts shading and background colors and all with it. Those Tableau templates are on our website, so you can register for those, and that's just a free service. It's something we had presented on at last year's TC conference. We did a From Zero to Hero webinar and made sure these were all free on the website going forward. So something for you to check out there as well. So Chris, I'll go ahead and share my screen. So one other thing that we wanted to let you all know is that we just found out about a week or two ago that we are going to be presenting again at Tableau Conference. We had submitted some topics, and we will be presenting 2 sessions this year. One that's called "So You've Migrated to Cloud, Now What? Tips for Site Admins." So what we're finding is a lot of people are moving from Tableau Server to Tableau Cloud, and sometimes they get rid of their server admins when they do that, but you still have sites and things, and there's lots of things that are nuanced
Yep.
with it that we want to be able to share with
Heather
folks.
froze.
Ah.
All right. Well, while she's freezing, I'll tell you this. We also have, if you're still on Tableau server, we also have we have what's called Server Guard, but we're changing a little bit how that works. Is that you can now, you don't have to sign a contract or anything if you have an issue with Tableau server. So we do this like a single incident flat fee support. So if you had any issues at all with an upgrade or whatever, just call us and we'll get it fixed for you fast and cheap.
Great. And I hope I'm not frozen anymore. We also are going to be doing a Tableau live session at the conference, where the first part of it, of our breakout session, will be some of the favorite tips and tricks and questions that we've most frequently been asked. And then we'll take live questions from the audience as well. So we will be getting a discount code that they share with speakers for us to share. So we'll be sure to share that with you next month. The conference is in April in San Diego. So if you're planning to attend, give us a yes in the chat. Let us know. We'll make sure to try to look for you there as well. But it's a great conference every year. And it's in San Diego again, if you went to last year's. And then the final thing that we want to offer to you is a Calendly link to actually schedule some time with Chris if you're interested in some things that you just don't feel comfortable, sharing here live with us. This is a free 30-minute session with Chris. So I'll put that link in there as well for you all. So you have that 30 minutes to share your own data if you'd like. You can email us at legal@Boulder Insight if you want us to sign an NDA first before that, or we can share ours and then we can help strategize with you about that. And then the final thing that I wanted to talk about today, let me go ahead and log in. We've had an interesting request recently for the Boulder Insight Academy. And so what we're thinking of doing, and we wanted to see if anybody is interested in this, we are going to be, we have what's the Tableau Fundamentals and Intermediate course that is combining, all of the things that you need in order to get certified in Tableau as an analyst. We call ours the Tableau Creator Intensive course, which is this last one down here, which takes both the 2 days of fundamentals, the 2 days of intermediate, and it accelerates it into an intensive course for 3 days. So one of the things that we are going to be that we're considering and thinking we're probably going to do for the month of March is once a week we'll do 1 day of training so it'll be a full day training on either a Thursday or a Friday for 3 weeks in a row, rather than 3 days all accelerated into one. What we've found is that people just start to get overwhelmed if they're new to Tableau, and they're kind of like drinking from a fire hose with it. So if this is something you're interested in, let us know in the chat or email us at info@boulderinsight.com and say, just put intensive. If you're interested in that, we'll know that you're interested in the intensive course. And then we are also considering making public a Tableau prep course for the certification to become a data analyst. So if that's something you're interested in as well, let us know that too. So, and what we do have is we have our Boulder Insight Academy. You would get, it would have you have access to our LMS system with all the recordings of the trainings for 120 days, which is something we're not permitted when we teach Tableau content. We can't record those things. So you get access to that. You can go back to the Boulder Insight Academy and see all of the content in one place too. So it's a pretty great learning management system that we could take you to. So if you're interested in those things, let us know as well. And finally, let me just see, I'm going to check our chat. one more time and just see if we have anybody else that has a question today for us. If not, what we'll tell you to do is go ahead and sign up for the March Tableau Live and take a survey to let us know how we did. So let me give you those links as well. But we'd love to hear what topics you're interested in for the future so we can plan for that. And we'd love for you to go ahead and register for the next month on our website as well. So let me pause any questions from the audience before we log off for the day. We want to make sure we've answered any questions that you all have still. And if not, I think we'll bid you adieu. Have a wonderful February. Know that we're here. If you have those questions in between sessions, this is something we do every month. Remember to just click on that Calendly link for Chris and get 30 minutes on his calendar. We'd be happy to help you anytime in between. So get out there, take some of these new skills that you learned today and go Tableau some minds at your companies. Good luck, everyone. Happy February. We'll see you in March. Take care.
Bye.